to the Stranger Still podcast. I'm Kathleen.
I'm Miles.
I'm Kirk.
And welcome to our deep dive into the 5th episode of the final season of Stranger Things, Shock Jock.
Shock Jock. Oh, I'm so excited. This is our first deep dive knowing the full ending of the series.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
Hey.
Go on and say it.
This is the first rewatch since the final episode of the series.
If you had it written down, I'm sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's all. That's it. I'm just pumped. Like, this is just, it was weird. It was weird watching it, right, Kirk? We were talking about that.
Like not having the anticipation of not knowing what was going to happen next, but now watching it, knowing where it's going to end, it did throw a little, extra wrinkle into it when we rewatched and did a deep dive here.
Yeah.
Knowing how everything ends, it's just surreal almost.
Well, it fits the tagline of this podcast, which is to dig dug into why Stranger Things is good. Thanks for joining us. Check out all our other deep dives. We got tons of episodes in the backlog. We got instant reactions to Volume 2. You can hear what we first thought of Shock Jock.
Yeah.
If you want to go back there, we have our instant reaction to the finale up. I mean, and when we're talking instant with the finale episode,
Oh, man.
Kathleen and I literally recorded from the car outside of the theater.
Yeah. So it sounds a little different than our whole episode.
You're right.
But
The audio production is lacking.
I'm
Thanks for
sorry,
pointing that
Miles.
out.
Yeah, but it was for the instantness of it all.
It was more
Yeah.
just to point out if you're wondering why we sound different.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk.
Sorry.
Let's talk the beginning of Volume 2, Shock Jock. Remember, we got home Christmas Day and we turned it on. First of all, I was so happy to be watching it outside of Christmas Day.
Oh,
The pressure
yes.
just seemed off.
Yeah.
Let's just enjoy this episode for what it is, and I really did on rewatch. We pick up right at the end of Sorcerer, where Will, despite having completed this heroic act, says, "We failed. Vecna got the kids." And we go through the tunnels and back to pick up Lucas, and Mike is making it very clear, Will, you're a sorcerer with innate powers.
Yeah.
Needs to be clear. They are innate powers.
He's not like a wizard. He is a sorcerer.
Did anybody else think when the helicopters were coming in the sky, did anybody think Dr. Owens? Because I was
Yes.
like, oh my gosh, Dr. Owens is coming.
It crossed my mind. Yeah.
We
I
never
was
get
so
an Owens.
bummed. I was so bummed he didn't come back. I mean, I don't think it was necessary to the story, but I just liked his character so much.
Just to see and know that he got out of that bunker.
Yeah.
Is he still chained up to that radiator in that bunker?
Possibly.
In the back.
Or did he die? I'm not going to believe that.
I don't know. But yeah, they're going through the tunnels. Mike is making it very clear. Lucas is like Will the Wise, but for real. And Will's like, not really. I'm siphoning powers. And, Kathleen, you had talked a lot about in our instant reactions. You were bummed that he doesn't have his own power. So Will, is taking power from Vecna and jacking in, as Joyce said. What do you think about him now?
I have many feelings around this. I'm still I'm a little bummed that they weren't his own powers, or at least that I don't think he got to keep the powers, right? I'm assuming that he no longer has powers.
He says borrowing. He uses that word.
Yeah. Yes. So that kind of bums me out. However, now having seen the finale, I think it would have been incredibly dangerous if he still had powers, because the government and the scientists, they're always going to be there. They are always going to be dissecting the unknown to death, basically.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad he didn't have his own powers, even kind of before the ending.
Yeah.
I just felt like, just believing in yourself, and then all of a sudden that just gives you powers. I'm like, well now anybody could just suddenly have this realization, and they could have powers. Like it opens up a Pandora's box of maybe Steve just has an epiphany, and now Steve has powers.
Right.
So,
hold on now. I don't think it's just a matter of just believing in yourself. I think it is going through the absolute depths of hell and still coming out and discovering yourself and your inner strength, going through the most horrible thing anybody could not even be able to imagine going through, and then having powers.
I think it touches on both of those things well. Henry is giving powers. Vecna is giving powers to the people he thinks are least likely to turn it on them because they don't believe on themselves. So we can kind of have it both ways.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you brought that up because I just wanted to point out the speech that Joyce says before they meet up with the other ones when she's just like, I don't know, she's loosening her motherly grip on him. Yeah. She's basically saying like, I underestimated you, but I know how strong you are. And I now know that you can do this. And I thought that it was really empowering for him. You can really see that.
Yeah. It was very helpful for Will because it is kind of surprising to jump into this episode and he's like, we failed. I failed. I didn't do this. And it's just like, Will, dude, you pulled off the coolest things this town's seen.
At least Mike and Lucas are pumped.
Yeah. Right? But Will's just so disappointed in himself. I'm like, dude, you just snapped 3 Demogorgons in different places. It's nice that Joyce kind of snaps him back in. It's like, this was extraordinary. Yes. What you can do. We had no idea. It's fantastic. I believe in you, my boy.
Yeah. And my boy.
I love that. And what I thought you were going to say about the finale is it's really good that he's not a second L, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he needs to die too.
Yes.
And so do all the kids.
Right.
According to Collie and according to the way that it ends.
Absolutely,
so they make that very clear, I think, for that reason. Like, Will's blood is not changed. He doesn't have any of Henry's blood like 11 does. So he can live a normal life without the government chasing him. Like, that's why they were... I mean, because Erica later reinforces this too. Like, he's an 8. He's, he's not a wizard. It's a sorcerer.
He's just got part of that smoke from all those tentacles or whatever.
Yes,
yeah. I love Joyce's speech to him. And then so she's basically, her plan that she gives to Will there is, let's jack back in.
That she gives to everybody.
Yeah.
Which... Let's just talk about that because she like so proudly announces her plan. She's like seriously proud of herself. And then she ends it like, so that's it. That's my plan, guys. Yeah. Isn't
Robin's
it great?
Like, yeah.
It's good. And Murray's like, yeah, it's good. It's great. Yeah.
Doubtful exhaustion.
The plan needs work. And they all kind of split up to get some Bugles product placement, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Lucas is popping some popcorn. Erica's walking around. And both Lucas and Erica separately have these moments where they have the plan. And they come and start talking right at the same time, which I love.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so great.
And Erica, full assess, I'll go first. Like, it's not even a question.
Like she's doing him a favor.
Yeah.
And the annoyance on his face.
I know. I love that sibling connection.
Yes. Yeah. Rewatching it, I appreciate it so much. They don't like each other's plans.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Lucas, my plan is faster. Bolder, better. Calling back to the new Coke thing. Oh. Lucas's plan is to Frankenstein a Demogorgon, basically. Shock it to life, and Will can jack back in right there. And Erica's plan is like, well, we can't find Dustin, but we could go find Mr. Clark, who taught Dustin everything he knows. So they decide to do both. Which are 2 great plans, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm glad they both settle on it. Even Joyce is like, let's just throw 2 darts.
Yeah, and hope we hit a bullseye, which they kind of do on both fronts.
Both fronts.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, later, obviously, that's for another podcast.
Yeah.
Double bullseye.
Double bullseye. Were you guys feeling any kind of like Groundhog Day with them coming back to the WSQK radio station, making yet another plan? Because that's kind of like one of the big things about the season is that, how different it is. The formula's kind of broken. We don't have just one big plan at the end. We had the crawl, we had the turnbow trap, we had the Tom, Dick, and Harry plan. Now we have this plan. Like every episode, we're coming back to this setting and doing the plan. Did you guys feel that at all? Kind of the repetitiveness of it?
I kind of actually liked it because I like these we got to make a plan parts where everybody's got a different piece of information to give. And when it comes to the end, how difficult it was to get to the end, that we had to keep coming back and keep making these plans and re-strategizing what we know. I liked that. I didn't get sick of it at all.
I agree with you, Kirk. That's always been my favorite part of every season is when they all come together and they're making those plans together. So we got that multiple times throughout this season, which just made me feel warm and happy.
Yay.
Obviously, I'm the one who asked the question, so you know my answer. I did start to get a little like, okay, we just keep coming back to the radio station. I missed the part where, we go on these big kind of multi-episode adventures. But the real benefit to this is every time we come back to the radio station, we like dispatch in different groups. You know, like that's a way, like Nancy starts with 11 and then she's with Mike and Lucas and then she's with Jonathan, and Robin goes from Will and Joyce to being on a plan with Murray to now being on a plan with Lucas after this plan. Like we're getting these different pairings that way too. So I was willing to do it, but I was just wondering if that guy,
I guess it's just kind of strange that the radio tower's the place rather than the Wheeler house or the the Byers house. But
cinematically it works because that place is beautiful.
I know,
I
it's
love
super
that
cool.
setting.
Yeah,
and important to the plot because you need the wattage.
You need the wattage.
We'll stay at WSQK where Will and Robin are up there testing the wattage. They're going to fry a pumpkin first. And they're talking really about, how Robin came out. And Robin says, thank you, Will, for saving my life. Will says, your speech changed me. Thank you, for giving me the power to sorcerize 3 Demogorgons and save your life. And I found Robin's reveal that Will is the 3rd person she's told to be
ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
I found that to be really true to the 1980s.
Yeah.
Sad
though that she wasn't able to tell her family. I mean, I don't think none of us in this room can truly understand how terrifying it must be to come out to the ones that you love. And even now it must still be incredibly difficult because even now there's so many people that are not accepting of that. But back in the 80s, I mean, within our lifetime, it was 10 times worse.
Yeah, the weight of it in the 80s. I wonder if the new generations, I'd be interested to hear younger listeners, people born in the 21st century, if you are fully grasping the weight that is on Robin and Will here. Like we said, obviously none of us have this personal experience, but in the 80s, Elton John was married to a woman, right? Freddie Mercury was closeted. George Michael, Boy George, they didn't come out till the 90s. We think of these gay icons that people that we love now, but they weren't even comfortable talking about being gay back then. It was,
and they were
hard,
hugely famous
and successful and awesome.
Yeah. So I remember just even in politics, Republicans and Democrats kind of agreeing that same-sex marriage is not a good thing.
Yeah.
Right?
2004.
Yeah.
And the Ronald Reagan times very hard. I do wonder if the weight of that. And I found this scene and Robin's I'm hoping to talk to more people. I found that very real. It made the season 3 scene with Steve more important to me to know that she didn't just start talking to everybody about it. It kind of enforced that. So I was just wondering if that.
Yeah. And it's kind of nice because I kind of just forgot that other people wouldn't know this about her.
Yeah.
She's been planning this for 18 months. They're doing these crawls, all this stuff. And just I'm like, oh yeah, well, she still doesn't trust to tell Mike or Lucas or Joyce or anybody like that, even though she's in the plan with all of these people. And that's how much of a stigma this is on, your personality,
such a weight
at that time.
And going back to the characters themselves, I was just so delighted to see Will. It was a huge weight has been lifted from him. Just having Robin in on it. Yeah. He feels so much more lighter, more comfortable, happier. The joy on his face when he's disbelief that she told Steve. It felt so good. It made you feel even more good about what we all knew was coming, that he was going to be coming out at some point.
I like that Robin just knows and Will still just won't say it.
Yeah.
They're still having these wonderful conversations. She's saying it's okay, but he's still not just yeah, me too.
Hasn't said the words.
He's adding more to that truth serum, which is the most confession that he could make, but he still can't just say it.
How would she have any of that, Will? I'm just kidding. plot hole.
Yeah. All right. She found all those benzos to knock out the turnbows.
So what do they do after this? They crank the Demogorgon, right?
Yeah, they lift him up, and now they're going to, instead of a pumpkin, they're going to electrocute.
It. Yeah. I like that when Robin's it's pronounced Frankenstein, and I didn't catch that before, but that's a nod to young Frankenstein, right? With Gene Wilder in it.
It seems to be a nod to a nerdy film person who would
Hey!
say that. No, it's pronounced
Okay.
Frankenstein. No, it's Frankenstein. We're in America.
Yeah, right.
But no, that is a comedy movie. Have you seen it, Young Frankenstein?
No, I haven't.
That's the
Young
joke.
Frankenstein?
That it's,
No,
it's pronounced Frankenstein. That's what he says in the movie.
I think those jokes are at the expense of intellectual film critics.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't
Get
know.
out
This is a
of
Mel Brooks film, so
town.
it could go both ways.
They
Yeah.
stake this Demogorgon and pump it up to 50,000 watts. Kirk, did you feel anything for the Demogorgon this time?
No.
I felt bad for it again.
I did too.
Honestly, it kind of felt a little bit more because it's pretty mean.
Yeah.
He already got snapped. He's already dead.
His bones are mangled and they're
Yeah,
nailing
he's already
him.
dead, and then they bring him back to
And
life.
he's nailed down, just getting electrocuted.
Yeah, that's
It's
rough.
just amazing that plan works.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I do kind of feel bad for the
Okay,
Demogorgon.
okay.
All right.
Rewatching
the truth
it.
comes out.
You already died once. You don't have to die twice.
I love the practical Demogorgon. This is not a CGI Demogorgon. This had weight to it.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it really looked good. I saw the behind the scenes. They created it, and it could smell it almost.
Yeah.
You could smell it, yeah.
Like when they
the
fry
burning
it.
flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the plan does work. Will wargs into Vecna. He sees Max and Holly at the door of the Wheeler house, which we're going to get to. We're going to backtrack and go to there. But most importantly, he says he's after Max and Holly and Lucas's face. Like,
Max? Yeah.
it's the first time he's ever had any hope, right? He's had hope dwindle for 18 months. His face is amazing there.
Oh my gosh. I thought that was wonderful acting. You could just feel the hope on his face. I don't want to, not joy. Definitely hope. It's definitely hope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely He's I don't know how exactly to put it, but he's like this isn't just an experiment to save the world anymore. It's like all of a sudden it's just like, oh shit, this is gonna work. Like we're gonna get Max back. Like
Yeah.
it just like
Well, how many times did he press play on that tape not knowing if it's
Yeah.
going anywhere?
Yeah.
This is the
Right.
first time he gets like some other
I guess-
confirmation.
It's like validation.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew she was there all along.
he starts believing at that point. Like you
Yeah.
can hear it in his voice. Not so much hope, but he's like, yeah, wow, this is it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get Max back.
And has he been just playing Running Up the Hill? Is he playing the whole album?
I
You
hope
know,
he's
I hope he's
mixing it
been
up
because
a little bit.
the number 2 is Hounds of Love, and number 3 Big Sky. These are good songs.
Yeah.
I've gotten into the Kate Bush album lately. Interestingly, not after season 4. I've been listening to it lately. That's great. I'm a contrarian. But let's go back to how the scene that Will sees and how Max and Holly got there. And we open up with Derek waking up in the
they're in the
mind
field.
fantasy field
Yeah.
world.
Right.
And all the kids are wrangled into what do we call it? The mind Creel house, or I don't know what we.
Yeah.
just-
His memory.
Henry's
Memory
house.
house, yeah.
I don't know.
And he gives this speech that I'm curious to know, like, how much do you think he really believes of this speech? He says, the black thing is coming. I've found a world of light. Y'all have powers, dormant powers, and tomorrow we're going to access those. Like, how much does Henry truly believe what he's saying to these kids all in a semicircle?
I want to hear what you have to say, Kirk.
All right. I think he kind of does believe that he can make a better world. Mm-hmm. I think that he's okay with that. I think he believes in the Mind Flayer and the Abyss.
Yeah.
He's classically manipulating them. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but I do think that he has a hatred for humankind, that they are flawed and structured, terribly.
Yeah, it is kind of a sanitized version of his speech to 11 in the Massacre of Hawkins Lab, where he talks about everyone wakes up and just to die. You know?
So I do think he thinks that there's a better world. I don't know if, like, his metaphor for light and dark.
Yeah.
I think he thinks the darkness is better than the light. He's kind of twisting that back the other way.
Yeah.
But I do think he kind of thinks he can help the kid. The kids will like the world that he brings them to see it the way he sees it, and that the Mind Flayer world isn't as bad as a classical human being would think.
Okay, so you're kind of
You don't believe
tend
him at
to
all.
generally be more pessimistic, and I'm the optimistic one here. But I see his mind as the true conqueror, drunk on his lust for power. That's what his drive is. He doesn't see good and evil. He sees the potential for him to rule over this new world.
So does he believe what he's saying to them or not? What
no, I don't think. I think
he's just lying.
Oh, yeah. I think he is using this beautiful, embellished speech to be able to gain their power, to gain power to conquer everything, basically. That he's on a conquest.
Yeah. I thought that at first, but I kind of side more with Kirk. I think.
Oh my goodness.
I think he believes some of this. Like, I think it is kind of the same speech he gives to 11, though he is using the book Wrinkle of Time,
which I gotta read at this point.
He's talking about you're like Meg. The black thing, I guess, is from the book.
Yeah.
You're like Meg. You have dormant powers. By the way, did all these kids read this book? Is this why they were chosen?
This was a homework assignment, I assume.
Don't read the books, kids. Don't read your books. You know?
Oh, golly.
That's my takeaway.
Yeah.
So Holly is clearly not buying any of this, and neither is Derek. And Holly asks, are you going to be leaving at any point?
Yeah.
What a suspicious question to ask after that.
I know,
Come
right?
on, Holly.
And so she sneaks out and she tells Max the plan's not going to work, which, by the way, Max's plan was go in there after Henry leaves.
Which wasn't a great plan in the first place.
Max is not a planner, Kirk.
Yeah.
She's the same person who stacked up the chairs in the snowball mine in the piggyback that you love so much.
I love
Max
that.
is a doer.
Yeah.
She's a zoomer, not a planner.
Oh, yeah. But Holly does get good information saying, this is happening tomorrow.
Right.
Right.
And he has a world.
Important information.
Yeah. Important information. There's a world that's going to be crashing down. Our folks in Hawkins need this information.
Yeah, that's huge in the end.
And she's telling Max all this. We got to go now. And here's some ruffling. Almost a Samwise Gamgee situation, when he's overhearing Gandalf and Frodo. And, I just heard something about the end of the world.
And explains everything.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. I love that Derek's like, no, I just heard. How do you know? Oh, my best friend, Mike.
Yeah. I love the way that goes down. First off starts, I'm not dipshit Derek. I'm delightful Derek.
Yeah.
The indignation in his voice. But yeah, like what you said, how much did you hear? Oh, not much. And then he literally lists every single thing that they said.
Plot.
Yeah.
Right. I love the way he's hiding. He is face down behind a log. He's not even
They'll never see me.
peeking up to see if anybody sees him. He is face down.
He's breathing in dirt.
Yeah, like a little kid trying to play hide and seek where they just think, if I can't see you, you can't see me. Just absolutely.
Yeah.
What a good choice.
Oh,
good.
man.
And then it's Holly's idea that, Derek, you be bait for us.
Oh, yeah. I think that wasn't hard for her to come to that.
Max, by the way, should have stepped in here, but whatever. What is the plan exactly? We'll escape, and Derek, hope you're okay with pissing off the really bad guy.
Hope you can run really fast.
Hope you get to the cave. It's basically Max's reassurance.
That's pretty much the plan. Distract him long enough to give us some time. And hope you make it to the cave. That's what'll keep you.
Poor delightful Derek.
And it really doesn't go well for him, right? They say, we're going to need dipshit Derek. We're going to need you to just cause a distraction. He goes back and he just tells the kids to suck a fat one.
Yep.
Mr. Rogers, I don't care about him. I'm walking into the woods.
Love it.
And when he does get caught by Henry, things turn dark.
Yeah.
Like Henry drops the mask there. And it's like, I'm going to kill your dad. Shows him the dad, your mom, and your bitch sister.
I love
Tina.
This. He calls her the bitch of a sister.
I know.
Not even Henry likes Tina. Everybody hates Tina.
I thought it was uncalled for.
Yeah.
I do have.
And I thought it was called for.
I do have to say in that moment, like when we actually meet the whole family, they seem super dysfunctional. Nobody seems to really
The Turnbows.
The Turnbows. Nobody seems to really like each other. And dipshit Derek just seems to hate everybody. But like you really see how much he loves his family.
Yeah, he's still a little kid. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good point.
They're still his family, and he is terrified. He's got that's the first time we actually see Derek. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
This has gotten real for him for the first time. It did bring a question to me, which is like what you were kind of talking about earlier, Kathleen. Is like, how much cooperation does Henry really need from these kids? Because he flips the switch and turns the new tactic on Derek, which is pure fear.
Yeah.
Like how cooperative does Henry need these kids to be in this mind world?
Well, we find out later that he really needs them all to cooperate.
To be just to hold hands.
He just needs them together, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess. I mean, That's pretty much it. The 12 AA children.
Yeah.
The batteries.
12 AA children.
And it probably doesn't hurt since he is like, we learn from Will later, like what that goo that is pumping into them in the abyss is giving them some semblance of power. So
Yeah.
he is giving them power, wants to keep them, on his side in a way. I could see that. So Max and Holly get to the cave, and what they're going to do is follow Holly's memories back through the maze, through Camazotz. First of all, why don't they take Max's memories? I think Henry's just guarding that area, or
Well, I think Max is trying to get Holly back.
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Like that's kind of her goal, because they even mentioned this at the end when they're about to go into her like biggest fear moment.
Yeah.
When she actually gets captured, and she's like, Holly catches her and she says, "You said I'm going back. Aren't we going back?" And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "No, I want to stay here." She plays it off jokingly.
Yeah.
But she also knows, because in the next episode, you can only go back to who you are.
I got a lot more questions about that we'll get to in
we'll
next
probably
episode.
cover, the next episode.
But they start with this beautiful. I loved this like trek for Max and Holly through the memories.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool, like piecing together a puzzle.
Yeah, me too. It was like, oh, this is going to be fun.
Oh.
We go to the field, and it's like, something's going to be out of place. The floating door.
Yeah.
It might be hard to find. Just floating
Or
door right over
obvious.
there. And Max, the disappointment on her face for that to be so easy to find is
Right,
hilarious. She's
right?
like, damn.
They do get harder. They go to the Wheeler basement. They're watching Nightmare on Elm Street 3. That takes them to the library, right? That's where she first meets Henry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They get out of the library. Then they go to the school, which we saw in chapter 1. That one's really hard. Like, Holly has to remember that the middle of the merry-go-round should be yellow.
And then think to like, oh, I bet I could crush this in. I mean, it looks pretty solid.
Yeah, good thing I brought a fire poker with me.
That turned out to be very useful.
I really love the way they crawl into the new memories too. They're always like, gravity is always working a little bit differently. And then I like thinking of this as like a set point of view when you see Max's legs come in through the merry-go-round, or not the merry-go-round, whatever it's called, into the next memory. Like, you think like they actually built that. They built it to look like one memory to another. That must look really cool in and of itself, not even in the show.
All of that was so cool. I totally agree. And then they're in chapter 2. They're in Vanishing of Holly Wheeler, the cold open.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And Holly has to watch her mom get slashed. And she says, "I just stood there," which I thought Max said something more comforting than "you wouldn't now." She says, "Well, that was the old Holly." It's like, what was the new Holly going to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's more comforting stuff to come next episode.
I'm just like, I get kind of how you would think about that. Like, oh, I could have done something different. Mm-hmm. But like, if you go after the Demogorgon at that point, you might just end up like your mom on the floor. So like, I don't know how you really blame yourself for not doing anything at that point.
Well, there's a lot of parallel with Will here too. Will blames himself for losing the kids. Holly is also in a lot of self-doubt. We'll talk a lot more about that in the next episode, but she's really beating herself up.
Yeah.
Right. I kind of liked what Max said. I thought it was just like the utter confidence that it's just a very short sentence. Like, you would do something now. You would do something now. It just ends it like that.
Nice.
And just a little pep in the step when they see the red door to
Oh,
the Red Soup Mine World. Let's not discuss what the Red Soup Mine World is. Let's go into it and then discuss it on the way.
I love Holly's
Walk and talk, people. Walk and talk.
I love Holly's question though. Like, are you sure you're not the monster? Because we've just gone through all these like memories, and now we're gonna go into this creepy ass place. Like, are you gonna kill me?
But Henry catches them at the last moment.
This was
Man.
awesome. I love this on the rewatch.
When
The
he comes
whole
down
scene,
when he comes down the staircase, and you just see like flickers of the different Henrys and Vecna there.
Yeah.
And when he morphs into the 11 one. Oh.
Yeah.
The guy in the lab suit.
Yes.
Yeah.
The orderly, as we called him at that time.
Oh. The orderly.
Well, we
He's
used to
had
call
many
in season
names.
4. We used to call him the orderly. We didn't know his name
Before we knew.
Before he knew his
Okay.
one Henry Vecna, Mr. What's it?
That's too many names. Yeah. But I love this because he's just like, no, he finally shows himself like the real Vecna to
Right.
Ollie when he
Yes.
comes around that corner and he is that full gross tentacle of a man.
Yeah.
Oh,
and she
God.
knows without a doubt,
Yes.
like
You
he
are
is
evil.
the enemy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And again, he's like, okay, 2 out of 12. I'm just going to have to beat him with fear to get them around that table. This was great. He gets Max. The fox is caught.
Yeah.
The way he's strangling her. This is Frank Darabont, who directed this episode as well as the Turnbow Trap, Chapter 3. And again, I felt just like such a different like heaviness to this battle. There's so much like tension and just, rubbery like twisting as he's strangling Max.
Right.
And then when Will wargs in, it was one of the most intense moments of the series for me.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I had this like, F yeah! Like it was like when we saw him use powers, but like you're just finally like he's sticking it to the man. He's finally gonna crush Vecna. I mean, I think we all knew that he wasn't gonna defeat Vecna in that moment, but it was like you just felt so good, and then it was the oh no.
But
Will?
when he turns Vecna's head towards Max, and
Yes.
says, Max, if you can hear me,
Yes.
run!
Run!
Dude,
Oh my God.
that was like to see it through Vecna's face and the eyes white out. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
That was so cool.
I loved that, and I loved it flashing back to Will too. Like Noah Schnapp, that might have been his best moment.
Yeah.
He fully went for it right there.
Dude, he did.
Yeah,
He
it was.
so did.
He goes for it, man.
Yeah.
For all we say, sometimes we criticize his acting particularly, but when he goes for it, ever
Yeah.
since season 2, man, he just
and he nails it. But what I love is Henry finally takes like Max runs away. He's gone, and his calmness for the first get out
oh yeah.
is
Oh.
just so eerie to me. He's just
Ooh,
it's like this,
so
it's like if this
creepy.
had happened before, and he's just
Yeah.
get out.
Yeah.
It's like so calm and like directive, and then he kind of gets mad. Get out, get out.
Yeah.
But like the first one is just like I don't know why that just punched me so hard when I watched it.
It,
again.
reminds me of like when you're playing your dad in basketball and you score on him, and
Yeah.
his face changes a little bit.
Yeah, right.
And he's like,
Let me
I've
just
been
show
playing this.
you
Not that
who
our
the
dad
boss
did this
is.
to us, of course.
Yeah,
but,
right.
it's like that type of like, okay, it's serious.
It's on now.
Yeah,
And I
you're
think-
pissing me off.
Yeah.
And I think that's like what the effect was on the audience too. All of us watching, like
Yeah.
we think for a moment, like, oh my gosh, it's working. Will is doing it. And then he says that, get out. And you're like, oh no.
The calmness-
This is not going to go well.
Yes, you don't have this anymore, dude. He knows exactly where you are. He's going to win this battle.
Yeah.
The first get out, you're so right. That just
Yeah.
like instantly tells you
Yeah.
Henry has this under control.
Controls
Like,
himself, composes himself, and then just,
Yeah.
absolutely crushes Will.
Yeah, puts Will into a trance
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Takes it, kind of flips it on him.
Yeah, I didn't realize, like, because, we watched all 3 episodes. Well, we watched the first 2 back to back.
Yeah.
That's where it ends. Like,
For them. Yeah.
yeah,
for
for
them,
them.
Well,
yeah.
they do end up frying that Demogorgon. Also another.
Oh, yeah.
Let's crank
yeah.
that to 100. That might have been where I felt the worst for the Demogorgon.
It's so brutal.
They're like, hey, we got to help Will. Let's go toast this thing.
I know.
Like,
Let's really toast this
I get
thing.
that it's panic time, but
Yeah.
man, they just the way he gets fried and the amount of smoke that comes out of him. I'm
Okay,
just like,
thank you. You're feeling
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
for this thing. I felt bad for it. I mean, it's done a lot of bad things,
Yeah.
but one more thing before we move on to the Upside Down and some of the other plot lines. Our friends at the Into the Upside Down podcast pointed this out on their instant reactions, which was that run that Will yells was in the first trailer, the teaser trailer. Back in May. Remember we saw like some shots and then we saw run, but his eyes weren't whited out in that trailer. So they didn't give away that part. It's like, good job, Duffers. Deceive us. Don't give us the real thing in the trailer. I love that.
I got it. Yeah. Shout out to all the trailers for this
Yes.
season.
I didn't even watch the Volume 2 or finale trailers.
but nice catch too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah, go check out the Into the Upside Down podcast. They're way better than us. Yeah,
but I do
But
love.
please listen to all of our future podcasts.
well, I mean, you're already here, so
It's great for Max to get away. I also like that they showed her like dying through the or when she's getting strangled, they show that through the hospital monitor.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. As
Where
her
are
heartbeat
where are
is
the
slowing.
doctors?
Seriously,
I know.
where's
That's
her
what I'm
mom
thinking.
been?
Oh, yeah.
The only person that's visited Max in the last 18 months to me is Lucas.
On screen.
Yeah.
I think the narrative reason for not having the mom there is because if you have her there, then you have to figure out a way to get her
to
out of
tie
the
this
scene
in.
before anyone can
That's
talk.
true.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know.
that makes sense. But yeah, I love that they flashed to that to show where Max was on the being choked and died scale. You know.
All right. Well, we'll be back with Max and Holly, Will and Joyce, Lucas and Mike. We'll see them next episode. Let's flip over to the upside down here.
Upside down. Boy, you turn me inside out.
That song's rubbing off of me. I said there were no good needle drops in Volume 1. The Diana Ross is rubbing off of me.
And it's funny because you said you were not a fan
I
of that
wasn't,
song.
but I really am digging it now. And I've been getting into the Tiffany song.
oh,
I
boy.
think we're
here we
alone now.
go.
We're going to cover that in our band.
I
There's a
love
Green
that.
Day version as well. That's really good.
Okay.
Anyway, so we flip
Yeah,
over.
right. You're not covering the Green Day version.
There is so we start in the upside down with the military, right? They're like, because they lost the key card, they've got to go through the door and fuse open the door. And they're like, no one came in or out, and Collie's still there.
Yeah.
They probably don't call her by her name, and Dr. K notices at the last minute it's an illusion.
Yep.
And she's pissed.
She is pissed.
Did you guys? I was trying to think back to my first time watching it. If I knew when they walked in that she was an illusion, and I really can't remember. Did you guys know?
I thought like 11 and Hopper were like hiding in the cabinets. Like, I'm an
Yeah.
idiot.
Really? Oh,
I'm an idiot.
I knew that was an illusion all the way.
It makes total
And
sense.
Yeah.
I'm
like, they're just going to leave her up there? Like, I mean, yeah. I was like, no way.
I never thought they were just going to leave her up there. And I really would like to think like, oh yeah, I knew it was an illusion, but I honestly can't remember what I was
Yeah.
thinking when I watched
I
it.
try not to predict stuff like as the episode's going
Right.
on. I have a hard time with that.
I was like, that's her power. That has to be what's happening. But yeah.
So Collie in the back of the whatever car Hopper's driving there, a Jeep that they got, says, I lost it, but Hopper's like, it's good. We got along far enough. Tries to be a little nice, like bitching, right? That's the word you
I know.
taught her.
The
Tries to do
looks
a little.
they both give him.
know.
11's pissed at Hopper.
That was
And-
such a dad moment.
Yeah, that was a dad moment.
It's like, let me lighten the mood by
Yeah.
making a corny joke.
Yeah, and it was like bad because, Collie, she's like, I guess I was a bad influence. Thanks for like shoving that down my throat when I've just gone through hell. Like,
Yeah.
He says join the club. But so 11 is mad, and she is, I don't know, rightfully or unrightfully mad. We're going to go into it between you guys. But her subject of her disapproval is that Hopper was going to blow himself up with dynamite, with a hidden failsafe that no one else went on. I can't be on crawls because your plan was to kill Vecna alone and die. I saw it in your eyes. Now, we had a long conversation about this in the instant reactions. You two disagreed on
Round
whether or not
2, Kirk. What do you have to say for yourself?
was Hopper wrong to have this hidden failsafe. Round 2.
It's a fail safe. It's not the plan. It's the backup plan.
11 says, I saw it in your eyes. You were planning to die, and you always were. And I believe those words 100%. He was always planning to die
Says 11.
alone.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He doesn't deny it, though. He does not deny that he was always planning to die. He was never going to even risk 11, even when her powers were absolutely necessary. We see that by the end.
This seems like
I can't believe this.
This seems like a reasonable plan from Hopper, honestly. If he's going to be the one going down on the crawls, he finds the almighty powerful Vecna. What chance in hell does he have against Vecna?
No, yeah, but
he doesn't
11 has a chance against Vecna.
He doesn't just peek his head around the corner and goes, oh, there he is. Let me go run back to the right side up and then find 11 and then we'll attack him. Hopefully he's in the same place that I found him.
But
he's like, no, you found Vecna.
He
Vecna's
won't-
pretty damn smart.
He won't let 11 go with him. That's the whole point. He's
Yeah.
doing it all alone when she's the one that has the power. She's the one that has to be there to defeat him. Well, in the end, we see help defeat him because She doesn't do it alone.
Exactly. She doesn't have to do it.
Yeah, but he doesn't want her to be any part of it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's right.
Kirk!
He's trying to protect her.
Kirk, get out.
Yeah.
That is a good point, Kathleen, that 11 ultimately head-to-head still does not beat Vecna, even with all her training.
No, but she is absolutely necessary to his destruction.
All right. Judge Miles will rule.
And all you listeners out there, I'd love to hear whose side you're on. Mine, hopefully.
Yeah, I'll tie break us on the podcast, though. I'm going to go with Kathleen.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry, Kirk.
I had a moment where I thought you were going to side with Kirk.
I think the thing that tips me, although I do agree, 11 ultimately can't beat him and he's right to be safe. I think the thing that tips me is I disagree that it was really a failsafe. I think this was Hopper's number one plan.
Yes.
I believe that. So
Yes.
that's where I kind of tip. But it's close. I'm glad that Kirk has this perspective because really it makes me see it in the desperation that Hopper has. He sees this as some way to avoid the inevitable, which he feels is 11 will be defeated, or 11 defeats Vecna, and then what?
Yeah.
Like as we talk about a lot in the finale. So it's just some way to maybe do it. It's wrong. She's right to be mad.
She is absolutely justified in being mad. I will not disagree with that one bit.
Okay, thank you. I do feel better hearing you
She
say
can
that.
absolutely be mad at him for that plan.
Yeah.
That is fine. That is a justifiable feeling. You don't have to protect me to that point. You were going to kill yourself.
Yeah.
That is...
But you just think
It's
the
too
plan
far.
had merit.
The plan has merit.
Okay.
The plan has merit.
Well, Callie is... I thought your friends were here. Cuts off that conversation.
By the way, why is she the first one to go into the church? I feel like
They're fighting about the
Because
dynamite.
she gets tired of waiting for them.
if they were in the church and she's the first one that walks through, they'd be like, "Who the hell are you?"
That's a good point.
That's a great... I didn't even think of that.
Shoot now, talk later situation. Boom, Collie's dead.
Yeah, right.
Nancy
ain't
knowing her
waiting.
trigger-happy ways, might have
exactly.
just shot.
Absolutely.
That is interesting. We forgot to tell you, Nancy's got a shotgun, and she's not in a great mood.
Yeah, right.
Kirk, that is not something that occurred to me until now.
No, I
man.
didn't on the first watch. The second watch, I was just like, "What the?"
What is she doing?
Well,
But
the
anyways.
church being empty does provide a setting for Collie and 11 to kind of catch up and reboot. And Collie tells Elle really about her capture, her escape, and that the program is restarted with pregnant women. And I think to start with, first of all, the reveal that the government took Collie like right after the lost sister, basically.
Yeah.
Seems like she's got the same hair, same clothes. I don't know if it was like seconds after the credits, but it was around there.
I think it was like at least within a year of it.
Yeah, they killed those characters we didn't even like anyway. And
That
she's
is
been drugged and getting her blood drained since then. All through the Battle of Starcourt and everything with Eddie, all the crawls. Collie has just been in a haze getting her blood taken. We learn that all the kids, everybody, the whole plot was started with Henry's blood. So everything with the lab, all 11's powers, everybody's powers came from Henry's blood. Did we already know that, or was this is where we found that out?
This is where,
I think this is where we found out because we saw Dr. Brenner taking blood from him, but assuming that he's like running multiple tests so that they can figure out how to replicate it in other children as well.
Yeah.
I've since learned that this is in the play. So everyone who saw the play or knew the synopsis of the play knew that Henry's blood was what got all the numbers going. And we also learned that none of it really worked. Like every number was a failure until 11. 11's the only true copy, right? Everyone else's pale imitations. And so they realized, well, we got to get them the blood while they're babies. And just like 11 was, we got to hook it up in the womb. And 8's blood is not working. They need 11's blood. She's the only one truly like him.
God, the horrifying disgust that I felt for Dr. K in that moment when we're seeing her flash back to her escape and everything. Oh my God. It was, I mean, I think back to Dr. Brenner and we thought Dr. Brenner was awful, but Dr. K is like a more evil version of him.
I would say equally evil. I just think like there's always the point of Dr. K's character is there's always a Dr. Brenner.
Yeah.
There's always another one.
He was doing the same thing on other pregnant women. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but God, it was awful though. I mean, at least like she's drugged the whole time, being drained of blood. I don't think Henry was.
Well, I think we don't know.
Oh,
I'm
that's
sure,
true. We don't know.
I'm going to guess Henry didn't have a good time.
Dr. K just seems so much more like evil.
Yeah, this is the part where she really turned evil for me. Because in Volume 1, I wasn't like so anti-Dr. K. I was like, yeah, I know she's kind of supposed to be the bad guy and the military person. This creeped me out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, this really kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies. Even on the first watch. When Collie finally goes in that room and sees that first pregnant lady that's dying,
God.
I was just like, oh my God.
Right?
I was like, Dr. K, you suck. This is the worst thing that anybody's ever done.
Awful. And worse than Dr. Brenner, because even though they were obviously doing tests on pregnant women, those women were still like doing stuff.
What is your defense at Dr. Brenner?
Yeah, what's going on
I'm
here?
not
Dr.
defending
Brenner
him.
was just as bad.
This is what happened to Mama. Like, they acknowledge that too.
No, I think he is awful and horrible and evil. I just think she's more evil.
Oh, I think she's just picking up where he left off. I think Dr. Brenner initially didn't do pregnant women because he didn't know that he was supposed to.
You know
he
what?
Figured it out on accident. I bet Dr. Brenner's notes said, by the way, you should do it on pregnant women from now on.
And Dr. K's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what's awful is like after finding this, I just like had a flashback to was it episode 4 that 11's in there. Oh yeah. And the look on her face when she sees 11, when she's been searching for so long for 11, it's like this maniacal happiness.
Yes.
And like seeing what she's doing and then remembering that face, it's just like so much more creepy.
Well, think about Brenner's relationship with 11 too. I feel like that's the point. There's always some crazy genius scientist funded by the federal government with a bunch of workers who are just willing to work in this place where pregnant women are strapped to gurneys.
Right.
This can't be good.
And they're
what are you
always
going
healthy.
home and telling your family today about what you did at work?
How can you live with yourself?
It's like, well, Susan's not doing too good. She's not responding to the blood infusion.
That's government work, I guess. Did Collie kind of give you the heebie-jeebies at the end of this speech, though? Because she shows 11. Messes with her mind and shows 11 up there. She's like, you've got to realize how bad this is. Like, did you start to get concerning vibes off Collie here?
Yeah, I remember even after this volume, me and you were both kind of like, Collie's going to be evil. Yeah. She's going to screw this whole dang thing up.
We did. We said she was going to be actively evil. Kathleen, you said she'd be redeemed, and you won that one.
I'd like to.
But this was the moment where she's like, 11, you have to go down with me. Like, it seemed like Collie had this. She's kind of like I want revenge and justice kind of personality. Yeah. And she's like, well, the only way to get that is if you go with me. Yeah. Like, we cannot let this continue. We cannot let child after child and woman after woman be exposed to what I just got exposed to and these pregnant ladies got exposed to.
I kind of opposite of you guys, but I would just like to review. I never thought that she was going to be evil until our episode 4 rewatch when you guys brought it up. And then I had this weight on me, this horrible weight about what if she is evil, because I always wanted her to come back. And that would have just been such a letdown. Letdown is putting it lightly. But actually, after this scene, I did not think that she was going to be the bad guy. So I went back to how I felt before your guys' revelation.
And we were enforced by this scene.
And I thought, like, this is what I thought, that she could interfere, obviously, because she thinks that 11 needs to sacrifice herself, which she doesn't outright say quite yet. But I just thought it was like a misguided, like 11 would come around and realize, like, love always conquers, which it does. The end. It does in such a sad way.
Collie is swayed. You win that one. All right, we got to keep moving. Staying in the upside down, over to the lab where Dustin, Steve, Jonathan, and Nancy have abandoned their post at the church where they're supposed to just wait for Hopper.
Of course they were.
Of course they have.
Nancy's in that group. They ain't staying.
Dustin wants to look for the shield generator, and the metaphor, the analogy that he uses is the Return of the Jedi, which, I'm always a fan of any Star Wars reference. Any original trilogy reference we can get in this, I'm in.
Yeah. I knew you were going to be pumped about that.
It's kind of the tone of the show that I watched this whole show in, is like original trilogy Star Wars, like adventure. That's how I watched the show. Okay. So I was excited. I knew it wasn't going to work. But the plans, like every time a character has compared something to the movies or like a plan, that has not worked since season 1.
That is true.
I'm glad
since the Lando reference.
Since the Lando, I'm glad that the Duffers didn't just keep connecting movies and the kids figure it out from that. I never thought what it actually turned out to be, but what he believes it at this point, and what Dustin believes it at this point, is that the meat wall is an energy shield, and there's something here that can bring the meat wall down, and we can then walk over the meat wall to go get Holly. That's what he thinks at this point. So they're going to go look up and down. Steve and Dustin go down. Nancy and Jonathan go up. Let's go down with Steve and Dustin.
Because the best treasures are in the dungeon or whatever.
Now it's treasure? No, it's a shield generator. Oh. And Dustin and Steve are just arguing. And then, as they have been all season, I found an interesting behind the scenes where Gayton said that Steve and Dustin have this fun banter over the season. Have you found this banter? Have you found this banter to be fun?
Oh, yeah.
It's hurt.
Was this like before the season was let out?
No, it was like the inside the episode to this episode. He's like, they've been having this fun banter. It's like, maybe it meant fun to act, but it has been so hard to watch these two beloved characters just attack each other.
It's very mocking behavior.
Especially because we love their friendship ever since it ignited their friendship. And so to see them so at odds is just really sad.
Dustin's inability to admit he is wrong is the first thing that kind of gets them going on this. Steve's like, you're wrong, dude. You were wrong. You're the one who messed this whole thing up by missing the crawl. I was attacked. No, you wrongfully went and picked a fight with Andy and his goons. Right. Yep. Like, calling the BS. Dustin calls out Steve for pining over Nancy. The verbal warfare is just escalating, and Steve just drops the biggest one, the one he knows. As Dustin keeps insulting his intelligence, Steve says, if I'm such a goddamn idiot, then why am I standing here? You're mad Eddie died? You know the truth. He wanted to play hero, and he got himself killed. It's just like,
yeah.
It all came out there. I as he said that, it was like the stark truth of it is what I felt. And of course, everything explodes. Dustin doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to admit that that's what happened. And actually later in the next episode, which we'll dive into, when Steve says that he was wrong to say that, I felt what he said was true. He just went about it wrong. Yeah. It was too hard, too mean. He came at him too strongly with the truth.
I thought it was perfect. Yeah. He needed that tough love. Because as he points out, it's like Justin's the one that's been pulling away. He's blaming everybody else for what Eddie did. Yeah. And he's kind of got this false delusion of who Eddie was. Mm-hmm. That he's careless and he didn't care what other people think. So that's kind of the whole point of him not running. Yeah. He was always caring that other people thought he was a coward. So, I mean, he did give a persona of that.
Right.
But he also did care what other people thought. And I love that Steve just calls him on it. Yeah. Finally, he's like, this is what it's all about. It's about Eddie.
Well, it hits hard because there's a grain of truth for Dustin. Yeah. Dustin knows that this is partially true.
Well, Steve points that out, too.
I mean, remember what Dustin said when Eddie was doing it? Don't do it.
Yeah.
That's why he reacts so poorly. Steve, you know how to hurt the people you love, right? He jabs that thing. I love that we incorporate one of the biggest debates among the fandom. Kirk, when you rewatched season 4, or when you watched season 4 for the first time, you said like Eddie didn't need to die.
Yeah. I was all over that.
It's one of your call-outs.
Yeah.
And I do think it's ambiguous. I don't know that it's for sure a fact. Like, I feel like you could kind of see it either way. He died a heroic death. Did he need to die that heroic death? I don't know. But
And I'm with you, Miles. I felt like his death was heroic. I mean, to say that it wasn't, it feels like it takes away from Eddie's character. He's a beloved character. Yeah. So I definitely thought he was heroic, but there is some ambiguous...
He was seeking out that heroic death.
Yeah.
Like he felt the guilt that he feels over Chrissy, over running away from Chrissy. I mean, how many times does he say it? Like you said, Kirk, he's a coward. I run now. I do everything. Like he's completely racked by that. And he seeks out this heroic death. And that complexity of a friend who died, that ignites this fight. And Eddie's story is going to be great on rewatch because of this.
Oh, yeah.
Like if the weight that it holds over both of them. Steve saying, I told you not to be a hero. I told you guys not to be a hero. Like a little bit of hurt from him. Yeah. Eddie ignored me.
And like the lingering jealousy that he probably feels, because he did have a lot of jealousy between Dustin and Eddie's relationship. And like he just wants Dustin back, and yet Eddie's gone, and Dustin is further away from him than he's ever been.
It's hard, and they're physically fighting. And I mean, Dustin's going all out. Steve's kind of, pulling his punches a little bit, don't you think?
Well, no, I definitely was. It was
Steve's trying to get him to stop.
It was a skilled fighter against somebody that has no idea really what they're doing. Yeah. And Steve was using that to try to protect Dustin as much as possible as Dustin is attacking him.
But he's done. Steve, this is just too much. Your outburst here. I'm done with you, man. I'm leaving. And Dustin finds Brenner's journal by himself, which he learns that he was wrong. He reads it and he's like, uh-oh. If you find a shield generator, don't shoot it or don't destroy it because we will all die, which is true, by the way. We'll talk about that a lot next episode. People were giving guff about that. If they had destroyed it, they would have all died.
Yeah, because the wormhole would have collapsed, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what they do at the end.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what they do at the end. Yeah. So he's trying to radio, but the walkie got broken there.
So I just want to talk about the room, and I don't remember if I mentioned this in our reactions at all, but when he's looking at the room and he's holding up his map, and then there's the map on the wall that's identical, I thought that it was like he had done some sort of time jump or time warp, and that was actually his map that he had drawn.
So did I. I thought that was his same map, and did an older Dustin make this?
Yeah,
and I
was like,
too.
whoa,
so funny.
what kind of crazy time warp stuff is going on here?
Yeah. We only got 3 more episodes left. Sorry, we don't have time for time travel.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
I do like how this kind of gave me a Brenner creepy vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's Brenner's office.
Well, yeah, but it's the daycare room. So this is where Henry gets blown through that glass window where he gets evaporated.
So that's behind the daycare room that he's got all that info.
So when this was just a normal daycare, here's Brenner's office. He's just watching through the glass of all these kids doing whatever they're doing, writing down all these secret notes. Like this little secret room right here is just fascinating to me. It just gives me the creeps.
That is creepy.
That is creepy. I didn't even.
Brenner.
I was not defending him. I still think that he is absolutely bad.
Dr. K wouldn't have a room where she just looks at the daycare.
Have.
Okay, yeah, right.
You know she would
I'm just
have.
being funny.
No, she wouldn't. She just sucks the blood like a vampire.
So Dustin is trying to radio Jonathan and Nancy, don't do anything. But Jonathan and Nancy are already on the roof. How did they get there? It's because they went up. And they have their little fight, a little mini fight on the way up compared to Dustin and Steve's. That's the you hesitate moment where Jonathan's like, you hesitated when we were going to split groups.
This conversation, I could feel they were so close to having the conversation. Jonathan is finally laying down some truths, getting real with Nancy. Let's hash this out. Yeah. We used to be a team and now we're not. And then he's like, you haven't been honest with me. You need to be honest. But then Nancy challenges him. And what does he do? He freaking lies. I wanted to punch Jonathan in the face.
She evades him by what aboutism?
Booyah.
She does evade him, but he instantly lies.
And
so it's like perpetuating the
what's
issue.
he going to do? Say, I'm planning to propose?
This was
No, he didn't have to say that part. She knew that he was lying about other things.
This was well written because they're both in the wrong.
Yeah, they are both. They are both in the wrong. Absolutely.
Nancy wants Jonathan to tell the truth as well, but Jonathan, right before saying "tell the truth to me," says, "You keep running."
Yeah.
Which immediately, right after she says, "Oh, you're not telling me the truth either," what does she do? She walks away and runs.
Oh yeah.
Nancy's not in a good place. I mean, she is frayed here. Like, even when she's like, "What, you just want to solve all the relationship issues?" Like, just that kind of classic cut off.
I'm going to take a moment here to pull out a music moment, which is usually a Miles thing. And I'm going to need your help with this a little bit because you know the music a little better.
What?
You just mentioned when Nancy walks away.
Yeah.
There's like a little snippet when he's standing there alone before they go and find the gross soldiers, which we'll talk about in a minute.
We'll meet them in a moment.
The music is... it sounds like the song "If It's Cold, I'd Like to Die" by
Inspired
Moby.
by. It's definitely still Dixon Stein, but it sounds very much like
Okay, so it's not that song, but it's inspired by. Yeah. Now that's usually played in these huge epic moments where something either horribly sad happens or like resolution happens. And I feel like I was faked out in this moment. Like, we're meant to believe that something big is about to happen, and then we just go boom to these gross, rotting soldiers.
Maybe it was the echo of what happened to those soldiers, who, by the way, had families too, and just died in the walls of the meat goo room. You know, it's like, hey, they should have. Why don't they get a Moby?
Yeah, right.
Because they're the bad guys. They're the government.
You don't.
They
well,
suck.
You're right, but they could have been from the old days when Brenner was first setting it up in the. Because of the exotic matter.
That is true.
They're still moist and
are they
icky though.
They look pretty
They
solidly
look like
stoned
they've been
there.
dead for a while. It's sort of a carbonite situation, you know.
You think it's carbonite? They still look kind of
it's not carbonite because that's in Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's a Chernobyl or carbonite. They didn't look that juicy to me. We need to rewatch.
Yeah.
What's the juice level?
It looks like they got it hard though.
Yeah.
The guy in the middle of the floor, that one sucks.
That's the
dude.
jump scare for that. We're just like, oh,
Could these guys not find a table? We'll talk about it later. Let us know in the comments the juice level on those soldiers if you see how. So they get up to the top. They didn't really solve anything. They're still upset. Nancy sprinted up the stairs, and they see this exotic matter.
Oh, man.
Jonathan throws a pipe at it. What about this test encourages Nancy to fire at it? I don't know.
God.
But also, Dustin did say to destroy it. How are you feeling about Nancy's decision to fire the shotgun at the exotic matter?
I'm still shaking my head, even the second time through.
Absolutely. I was so pissed. I'm like, you've been kind of against Nancy for a long time, but I've always been with her. In this moment, though, I'm just like, what the hell, Nancy?
She makes rash decisions. You know, it's like, hey, we kind of got a hold of Dustin. He's out of range, but we can kind of hear him. Let's not wait 5 minutes to hear what he has to say.
It's like, by the way, Jonathan, he's screaming.
Yeah.
You can't hear his words, but you can hear Dustin is screaming.
And you can
You're
hear
like,
a don't in there.
Oh, and he just ends with like, he's out of range.
He's out of
like,
range.
He's
okay,
screaming, Jonathan.
God.
And when the heck has a shotgun solved anything in this entire series?
Yeah.
When are we just going to blow something away? And it's just, that's going to be the answer to everything.
Shoot
Nancy.
first, ask questions later. That absolutely fails her here.
And she even had a chance.
Yeah.
Jonathan grabs the gun. Bold move. Somebody about to pull a trigger on a shotgun.
Right?
You sure about this? And she's like, no. Boom.
End of episode. Yeah.
Come on.
So pissed.
I will say, I do feel like this isn't Nancy's best moment, but the actress, built this moment up. She's so angry at Murray when they talk the thing. She's so angry at Hopper for telling them to wait at the church. She's just doing all this when they're at the stairs and Dustin and Steve are going to go downstairs when we split up the partner. She's like, no, same teams. Like the snapping and the anger. She is frayed.
Yeah.
And
she's had enough.
Yeah. That Nancy, I truly believe the later Nancy, even after the goo room scene from next episode, wouldn't fire. She's just, I've got to do something to save Holly, to save my parents.
Yeah.
And it's a mistake, but I really like this arc that they kind of built for Nancy.
It's her need for action.
I liked it her need for action. I liked it way better. But our characters are screwing up all over the place, right? Dustin was wrong.
Yep.
Max is kind of making crazy plans.
Max is kind of wrong. You know.
Joyce's jack-in plan didn't work.
Yeah,
Will is in a
Will's in a
in a
affected
trance
now. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think overall Nancy probably screwed up the most in this episode.
Nancy at 100% the worst choice.
All right.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, every episode we end with Kirk's funny moment, Kathleen's feeler moment, and Miles's music moment of the chapter. And Kirk, why don't we start with you? What's the funny moment of chapter 5? Shock Jock.
We had some good ones in here. Shout out to Max just flipping off Henry. I love the way she did that before she pulls down the curtain.
I love that moment.
I love Derek with Henry. Where'd you get that map? Your mom.
Yeah.
Before he's
Yeah. Dustin has a nice one right before the attack. He goes, he tells Steve to stay and just play with the toys, and then Steve is playing with the Rubik's Cube.
Yes.
And Dustin's like, really? You are playing in here? He's like, just following orders. But Murray takes the cake. Let's be honest.
Oh, I'm so glad I know what's coming.
Early in the episode, when he, I forget how he gets led into it, but butter my butt and call me a biscuit.
This is when, I'm so glad you said that, because I had a note in here to bring it up, because I just loved that line. He says it after, Joyce does her plan and nobody says anything. And then they're like, well, let us tell you about Will's powers. And then that's his response.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit.
Butter my butt.
Yeah. Murray with a classic one-liner. Oh, I just love
That's
it.
a great one. I didn't even really catch that the first watch. I don't think I fully belly laughed at that until we rewatched it.
Oh, yeah. That took a rewatch. I didn't even remember that line.
We got to start saying that in real life. Butter my butt and call me a biscuit.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's a saying somewhere like butter my bread and biscuits. Like there's something in there. But butter my butt.
Right.
And that whole scene too, I love it. I love he's just like staring at Robin after Joyce announces her plan, and Robin hi. It's just so he's hilarious.
Murray.
That's the Murray that we have loved throughout Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
All right, Kathleen, your feeler moment.
Oh man. Okay, this is kind of a subtle one, but I really felt this, especially with the rewatch. And we're gonna go to Collie here. As she's telling her story to 11 of everything that she's been through. She watches her friend get killed. But the moment that got me the hardest was when they have her sitting down and they're shaving her head. Her eyes look dead at first, but then they tilt her head to start shaving, and her face just crumbles. It's this moment of despair and hopelessness as she just falls into this sob. You feel what she is feeling, and what she is feeling is that she has escaped hell. She has been having her vengeance, but now she's caught, and you can tell she knows that she's never going to get out of it. This is the end. Wow. She's not going to survive it. I felt that deep in my heart. It was heartbreaking.
Well, credit to the actress, because that's one take. You know how I know that? Because that's a real head shave.
Oh,
really?
Wow.
Yeah, that's another thing on the inside the episode. They brought the real hair department person in to be that actor to work, that part. Yeah. And she shaved her head for real, and they had to get it.
Yeah.
I wondered that
right?
as I was watching it. And then I also wondered, if this is real, which now we know it is real. For you guys, it's different because it's pretty normal for guys to have short hair, but to cut off your hair as a woman, to me, it just it's kind of becomes part of your female identity. And I wonder if she just was feeling that as they're shaving off all of her hair. Yeah. That must have felt hard in that moment. This is only my own experience. Maybe everybody is completely different to me.
I might cry if I got a buzz cut, I'll be honest.
You usually have pretty long hair.
I got a goofy head.
I thought you were going to say you usually cry when you get your hair cut.
That too.
It's tough at the Hair Masters
Yeah.
when Kirk comes in.
Well, shout out to the director for letting them do that too.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I guess
that's
it was
amazing.
the actress's idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she said
That's
she
really
asked
cool.
for that.
Yeah,
They didn't force her to do that.
That was heartbreaking.
Yeah,
That
it was.
that
Great
yeah.
feeler moment. All right, music moment. I'm going to kind of pick us up on the lightness here. There's so many like epic things in this episode. Will's takeover of Vecna has some crazy score stuff going on. And when Dustin is running up the stairs screaming into the walkie-talkie, there's some of that like cinematic just synth sugar that we've gotten used to with the Dixon Stein soundtrack. But one score track style that we haven't gotten this much season is those bouncy little pads we get every once in a while. And we get that when Robin and Will are talking. And Robin tells Will it was Steve that she came out to. That's when she plays the score track called Double How.
I'm excited to hear that.
So one of the most underappreciated parts of the score is these, what I call the pads, the bouncy little, just kind of fun, playful boop, boop, boops, boop, boop, boops, about the different sounds. It's
Very feel good.
yeah, there's like a little percussive element in each single hit. You know, like when you have the keyboard, you know, kind of combined with a little drum, you know, and they just have those little taps, you know, and it has some bass to it. It's got some like modernness to it. We have heard this type of thing. Let's go back. I'm going to bring us back to season 1.
I can kind of hear that.
Kind of same style, but
Yeah. So a lot more like fuzzy and warmer. That's when Mike is showing Eleven the house, you know, earlier. And then season 3, these like pad things, much glossier.
oh, and that's a bit more like the one you're showing us.
Yeah. That's a little bit more like the season 5 one, but it's still compressed. This one has bass, meat. This is the season 5 one.
Yeah.
This is the one. I don't know.
Your
do like
ability
that.
to pick up on stuff like this is impressive.
I love the pads. We don't get it a lot in season 5, and I wanted to shout it out
Yeah.
I love it.
and give a little history lesson. Does that make sense? What I was
Yeah,
talking
that
about?
makes a lot of sense. I mean, it
yeah.
helps me see Stranger Things in just a different lens.
Those score tracks for people listening, that was Lazy Boy from the season 1, Boys and Girls from season 3, and Double How from season 5. Check out those tracks. Presumptuous from season 2 is another one like that. Just listen to all 4 of those back to back and just kind of shuffle your shoulders a little
Vibe,
bit.
baby.
Bounce a little bit. All right.
Well, that's our 3 moments. Thank you so much for joining us today, and be sure to listen to our next rewatch deep dive for episode 6.
We'll be back in a week.
Yeah.
I'm Kathleen.
I'm Kirk.
I'm Miles. Good night.